Welcome to the Buck Brief. The criminal assault of NYPD officers by a bunch of illegal aliens has the whole country saying, what the heck is going on here? Well, let's discuss and let's try to get to the bottom of this. So what happened was in the New York City subway system, the cops were trying to make an arrest. And some migrants, illegal aliens, and I know that they're going to say, oh, but they're waiting for their asylum things. They're not asylum seekers. They are pretending, and they're really refugees is what they're claiming to be. They're claiming to be refugees. They are lying. They are not refugees. They are people who want to be in America and who have not gone through the legal processes to do so. But the whole thing is now becoming more and more clear to people as you have guys in their early 20s, 19, 20, 21, kicking a cop in the face. So NYPD officers are trying to effect an arrest on a perpetrator. And a mob of these migrants start punching and kicking the officers, and this is an outrage. I just want to say to them, if you want to kick police officers, do it in your own country. We don't need you here kicking our officers. Thank you very much. Go back to where you came from if you're going to come into this country illegally and then commit more illegal acts, including assault on law enforcement. The fact that these people aren't deported the same day is appalling. And no lib is going to win and argue with me on this. There's no two sides. Oh, but we're a nation of immigrants. It's all nonsense. People have had enough. We are fed up, okay? This is not a giant homeless shelter. This is America. We're supposed to care about how people come here. We're supposed to care about whether they really pursue Americanness, whether they want to be Americans, be part of our family, so to speak, or if they're just here for the free lunch and the free health care and the free housing and the free everything. It's not the way it's supposed to go. You cannot have open borders in a welfare state, and we have both. It's a big problem. Now cops are saying, oh, of course, the illegals who attacked the officers, they're all released the same day. They're released. Some of them had outstanding warrants, too, already. So let's just be clear. They come into the country illegally. They scam our system. They go to New York City. They keep breaking the law. Now they attack officers, and we haven't already sent them back to their country of origin? Why? What other country in the world that isn't out of its damn mind would allow this? Well, now you have 4 of the migrants who were released without bail, mind you. So they're arrested. They're back on the street. Nothing's going to happen to them after they are kicking a cop in the face. They're released. Now they're traveling to California, they believe, via bus. Some NGO gave them bus tickets so they can get to California on the bus, so they can get out of here and not face any justice in the New York jurisdiction. And, are they even really in the system? Do they have ID? The whole thing. I'm sorry. If America does not enforce its laws against illegals, it has no right to enforce its laws against its citizens. Why should any of us be subject to arrest and incarceration if illegals? Now, I'm not saying we should have no laws. Quite the contrary. I'm saying everybody must be subject to law who is on U.S. soil. You saw there was this son of an Israeli diplomat who ran a cop over in Florida he was on a motorcycle, didn't want to wait, ran the cop over, gave him a serious injury to his leg just because he didn't want to be in traffic. And you know what he said? I have diplomatic immunity. You can't do anything to me. Well, it turns out it's not that simple. He's the son of a diplomat, and they are not extending immunity to him. So, sorry, buddy. But you see, you have to have everybody who is on U.S. soil subject to U.S. law. And that includes the illegals who, 1, shouldn't be here in the first place, and 2, disrespect our laws while they're in this country. The situation is unacceptable. It is untenable for the country. It cannot continue in this way. And I'm sorry, but these people that leave countries that, let's be honest, are crappy places generally. Otherwise, why are they leaving? How many people are leaving America by the millions? Or how many, millions of Americans are fleeing to go to some of the countries that these migrants are coming from? It's worth asking some questions at some point. Why are their countries so crappy? Why is there no rule of law? Why is it that there's very little productivity and that people live low quality of life? And what's going on there? No. Instead, we'll just say America is going to fix it for everyone for free. We'll just give you all this stuff. The things that are given to these illegals come from you. They come from the taxpayer, the productive American worker, productive American family that has things taken from them under force of law. Pay your property taxes or we take your house. Pay your income taxes or we take your freedom. With illegals, they do whatever they want. Work off the books, not pay taxes, be in the country illegally, maybe assault a cop. I think people are recognizing that more people are recognizing that this simply can't continue. And the only way that it will stop, though, is if you have a massive reckoning and the Democrats receive a tremendous electoral rebuke because they're in power and they're not going to stop. You have to take power from these people. This couldn't come at a better time in our society. Patriot Defender. It's a new company that I'm partnered with, and it's legal defense for your constitutionally protected rights. That's right, a no-cost legal defense to protect your rights, freedoms, reputation, and your way of life. Speak up at a school board meeting about vaccine mandates and suffer consequences, your legal defense is covered. If your right to free speech is denied, suffer consequences, your legal defense is covered. Patriot Defender will provide both open and concealed carry defense. They'll also provide you with IRS audit assistance. So if your business, your income, or your reputation are harmed due to the weaponization of government, a lot of those cases happening lately, you now have a no-cost defense option from Patriot Defender. I'm a big believer in this. I'm a partner in the business, as I said, and I'm a member. I'm a Patriot Defender member myself. Go to patriotdefender.com. Patriot Defender is the only membership that goes beyond just defense for concealed carry weapons. patriotdefender.com. Again, that's patriotdefender.com. Now, you also have to see that the rule of law issue extends even beyond what's going on with our border and the lawlessness there, and then the illegals committing crimes. So it's illegality piled atop illegality when you're talking about immigration. But also, you may have seen this clip where Gavin Newsom he's telling the story himself. Gavin Newsom is saying that he was at a Target, and one of the Target employees saw someone with an armloads full of stuff walking out. No one says a damn thing. No one cares. And Gavin Newsom goes, "Hey, why aren't you doing something about that?" In his sociopathic Gavin Newsom voice. And the store clerk says, this is Gavin Newsom telling the story. Store clerk says, because he can steal $950 of stuff and we can't do anything about it. Won't even be arrested. And Gavin Newsom says, "I need to talk to your manager. That's not true, and because the person also said, it's the governor's fault. Now, he's saying that this person said this to him. And I'm like, really? I didn't know it was the governor? This guy's on TV everywhere all the time. He's obsessed with seeing his face on camera, on television. And the person... So, I mean, I find the story a little shaky to begin with, and Gavin Newsom is telling it. And I think Gavin Newsom is the most gleeful liar in American politics today, meaning he gets tremendous joy, deep satisfaction out of lying. I think that he finds lying to be a form of like self-actualization or something. I mean, he loves to lie. That is Gavin Newsom. But put that aside for a moment, just based on what he's saying. I'll take him at his word for a moment on this. So what's going on with Gavin Newsom is he's telling you that he's angry at the store clerk for not stopping the person from going out with armloads full of stuff. What's the store clerk going to do? In Gavin Newsom's California, it's true of any Democrat-run state now, if the store clerk tries to physically block the person, they may be arrested for assault. If the store clerk calls the police on the person, the police won't do anything. And then maybe some, left-wing news outlet will say, "Oh my gosh, they're calling for violence against black and brown people." And you say, hold on a second. We don't even know if the perpetrator is black or brown. Doesn't matter. Media is going to run with the narrative anyway because they want to call people racists. That's where the media derives so much of their power, the constant fear that someone will be called a racist. And you say, this whole thing is a mess. And it's so easy to fix. All that has to happen is you enforce the law. And it doesn't mean you have to do it ruthlessly, okay? No one's saying, remember in Office Space, he goes, "This isn't Riyadh. They're not going to saw your hand off." Yeah, This isn't Riyadh. So, I'm not saying that we should become an unforgiving and overly harsh. We shouldn't be using, what do they do when they cane people in Singapore? Okay, fine, for theft. But there are people who are basically professional thieves now, and this is all they do, or they're at least near compulsive in their thievery. They're constantly stealing. They're stealing thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, maybe more of dollars worth of stuff, and they suffer no consequences. And at some point, there's just got to be a recognition this can't be allowed to continue. It's bankrupting stores. It's destroying businesses, and it's destroying whole communities. But, the virtue signaling from Democrats is so powerful, such profound stuff for them, because as long as it's not their store, as long as it's not their neighborhood that is blighted as a result of all the theft, just continues on. The dollar is the currency the world relies on for trading, just as you rely on it for paying your bills and saving for the future. But there's a thought from some very informed individuals that our dollar is on even less stable ground than you think. This voice is former Wall Street insider Tika Tiwari. He's released a video online exposing some deep concerns within our government. He believes that what he's discovered could trigger a big financial crisis. But you decide for yourself. Watch the video. He's exposing all the details in this online video that's controversial and shows you 3 steps you need to take to prepare. Go to moveyourcashnow.com to watch the video the government doesn't want you to see. Again, that's moveyourcashnow.com and learn how to prepare. Moveyourcashnow.com, paid for by Palm Beach Research Group. Now, it is a Groundhog Day as I talk to you here. What a kind of bizarre tradition we have. I think he did not see his shadow, right? So I don't even know what that stuff means anymore. But yeah, I do think back to the incident a decade ago, which was really a metaphor for Bill de Blasio's entire political career, which is where he was supposed to handle the groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil, or maybe it was a Staten Island version of Punxsutawney Phil. I can't remember now. But it was Groundhog Day, and he was supposed to hold the groundhog for a photo op, and he dropped the groundhog and he killed it. I mean, groundhog's a pretty sturdy little varmint, They're pretty thick usually. And to think that you could drop it and kill it, you have to drop it really clumsily and from a pretty high height. And sure enough, that is what happened. And de Blasio killed the groundhog just like he killed the Renaissance of New York City. And I really do think that it was one of the most apt metaphors of any politician that I have seen in a very long time. I also think that Groundhog Day is one of Bill Murray's best movies. For me, the Bill Murray pantheon would go Ghostbusters #1, the first Ghostbusters movie. And then I go Caddyshack. And then I think I go Groundhog Day. Some of you are going to say Steve Zissou. And I'm like, no. Come on. Really? No. I'm trying to think what else goes in the... isn't Scrooged a Bill Murray movie? I think Scrooge is a Bill Murray movie from a long time ago. There's a lot of Bill Murray movies. Stripes is fun. I would take that one. But Groundhog Day continues on as a tradition for some reason. And I never really see people with pet groundhogs. They do exist. As you know, I'm fascinated by people who have exotic pets because deep down I really wish that I could have like a pet fox, a pet raccoon. I would have a whole menagerie of only warm-blooded animals. I can't do lizards. Birds I'm okay with, but couldn't do lizards, reptiles, crocodiles, anything like that. I'm not into those. As I guess crocodile would be really crazy. But like any kind of amphibian. Turtles are fine, but I don't think, do you really get affection from a turtle? Anyway, yeah. What did I get on? Oh, groundhogs. A pet groundhog. I don't know. I've seen pet raccoons, obviously pet squirrels. Never seen a pet groundhog. But yeah, the shadow, to come out, not, who cares? Go watch Groundhog Day, the movie. It's excellent. By the way, do you feel prepared? With everything going on in the country, do you find yourself thinking about self-defense, home protection, and financial protection now more than ever? One form of financial protection is diversification. Gold has often been used to protect against inflation. It's a global reserve asset, and countries are buying massive amounts of gold as a hedge against financial collapse. It's time to help protect yourself and invest in gold. Stop thinking things are going to get better. You need to look out for yourself and your family. My friends at the Oxford Gold Group will help you understand why you need gold in your 401k or why you should have gold on hand. It's easy. It's simple. The Oxford Gold Group is there to help. Visit oxfordgoldgroup.com/free and order the investment guide or make a purchase of precious metals and earn up to $2,500 in free gold. That's oxfordgoldgroup.com/free. OxfordGoldGroup.com/free. One more time, OxfordGoldGroup.com/free. Book recommendation for all of you before you go off for the weekend. I am about halfway through The Wager, which is about a British squadron sent on a secret mission by the Admiralty to take a Spanish treasure galleon in 1740, and they try to go around the southern tip of South America. Spoiler alert, doesn't go well for them, but it's about shipwreck, mutiny. It's really interesting so far. So The Wager has been a really good read. Really enjoying that one. I'll give that to you for the weekend. Thanks for rolling with me, as always, my friends, and shields high.